First step, you remove the cover that's over the blade. Then, using your cutter wrench that we know you have, and a 19mm wrench, you loosen the top. You want to make sure this cutter wrench is seated on this part down below so it doesn't spin when you remove this nut. Remove the blade, be very careful, it's very sharp. Next up, M5 screws. There's 2 of them. You want to remove those. Be careful because the assembly can fall. Flip it over. Using a flathead screwdriver, the two cutter wires will be in this block. Flathead screwdriver, loosen the block, remove the wires. Next, you flip it over. The 2 M4 screws right here need to be removed. Now, you need to remove the spur gear head with the 2 set screws right here. Remove that. Now you remove these 3 M3 screws to take this plate off of the cutter motor. You remove the cutter motor, you bring the new one in. You line the plate up with the 3 holes in the motor. Reattach this plate. Make sure it's tight, but not too tight because you can strip the holes. You put the spur gear back on. We want to find the flat on the motor and line it up with one of the set screws. You put it on, tighten the set screw till it's tight against the flat, back it off just a little bit. Push it all the way down until it stops. Tighten those set screws. Come back over to the plate. Like that, and you put your 2 M4 screws back in. I like to get them almost tight. Once they're almost tight, you just want to pull out a little bit and ensure that there's a little bit of play between these 2 gears. Binding can cause cutting issues. Once the plate's reapplied, you're going to flip it over again. and we want to reinsert the wires back in here. Black goes to black and green, red goes to red and white. You want to be sure that these wire ends are going under the screw, or else you won't have a good connection. Tighten down with the flathead screwdriver. You give a light tug to ensure that the wires are mounted properly. You bring this back over. Just sit on top of the carriage. And you put back in your M5 screws. I like to get them nearly tight, same as with the plate. And you push away so that there's no binding in this area between this and this drive bar. And then you fully tighten M5. And our last step is you want to make sure it's all the way over. This plate goes first. Place your cutter gear. This plate, washer, nut. We want to get that hand tight. And then we come back in with our cutter wrench and our 19mm. And we tighten, and we're good to go.